Ethiopia and Somalia have agreed for Ethiopia to take part in the African Union mission in Somalia for the peacekeeping mission. Now, this is really a breaking news and quite an achievement. Following, the last mediation between Ethiopia and Somalia was achieved, the peace agreement in Ankara, mediated by Turkey. But even after that, there was a lot of tension as the Somali government has continued rejecting Ethiopia's proposal to take part in the African Union mission in Somalia. All this have started after Ethiopia has signed that memorandum of understanding beginning of 2024 with Somaliland, which is a sea access for Ethiopia, a landlocked country with more than 120 million of population and also the fastest growing economy in the continent. Ethiopia is one of, half of the GDP of Africa comes from only 5 countries, and Ethiopia is one of those 5 countries. And Ethiopia cannot just continue renting a port from neighboring countries. So it signs that agreement with Somaliland. Following that, the relation between Ethiopia and Somalia have been tensioned, and there is a lot of words of war exchanging. And it's after that, actually after the Ankara agreement, which is beginning of December last year, there was an official bilateral visit have been done, which is the state foreign minister or the foreign minister of Somalia have come to Ethiopia, and also the defense minister of Ethiopia and the foreign minister of Ethiopia have been also in Mogadishu. Now, after all this shuttle diplomacy, Ethiopia now is accepted to take part in this African Union mission, peacekeeping mission in Somalia. Now, why it makes it interesting? And you might ask why Ethiopia wants to take part, because Ethiopia have been, let's make it clear, Ethiopia have been taking part in the peacekeeping mission of Somalia, even when the United Nations was not financing this, even when, these big continental and international bodies were not willing for some reason or ready to take part. So the last mission was called ATMIS, this as African Union Transition Mission, which is until the Somalian government or the Somalia army is able to defend itself. With regards to that, and given the tension with Ethiopia, so Somalia have been saying that Ethiopia will not take part. And to make it worse, Somalia have invited Egypt. Egypt has fed with Ethiopia following the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, and Egypt has been, let's admit it, with that historical enemy with Ethiopia. And they don't want Ethiopia to be a powerhouse, whether it's economically or security wise, in the Horn of Africa. Egypt is so far from Somalia, and even under the African Union principle for peacekeeping mission, what is given priority is for the regional bloc, and the regional bloc is the Eastern African Community or the neighboring countries, Eastern African Community or the Horn of Africa. In both cases, Egypt does not qualify to be part of this. But Somalia, knowing that, brought Egypt just with bilateral relation, to counter Ethiopia. And, that's how they wanted to revenge Ethiopia, because Ethiopia signed that memorandum of understanding with Somaliland. And that was unacceptable, even for the African Union to let it pass. Here at Connect Africa, we have discussed it, and the African Union really to let it pass or to give that green light even for Somalia to bring Egypt, knowing that there is a tension between Egypt and Ethiopia in the region, that makes it, inviting a conflict to the region. So the African Union should not have given it in the first place a green light. It should have just tackled it diplomatically by calling Somalian, the Somali officials that you cannot do this. but it just let it pass. But now they think that they have got the pressure, whether it's from Ethiopia or whatever. The Egyptian military will still be there, but now Ethiopia's military also will be there. My personal opinion, I have been saying this, Somalia is just going far and inviting a conflict that is unwanted, that's not theirs by bringing Egypt. Egypt is it's not trying to help Somalia. In fact, what it's trying to do is it's checkmating Ethiopia by being in Somalia, because it has that fate of because Ethiopia built that grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, which they think that Ethiopia is taking more water from Nile, or from what we call Abai River, and 86% of the water comes, actually the origin is from Ethiopia. So basically they are telling us to shut up and we will continue to use the water. I mean, in all aspects, whether it's sustainable, green economy, or whatever, Ethiopia is the right place to build that dam. Okay, now that's another topic for another day, which you can find many videos here at Connect Africa. But the issue is that it's really the right thing for Ethiopia to be or to take part in this African Union peacekeeping mission in Somalia. First of all, it's security wise, it's capable and it has an experience. It has been present in Somalia for many years, as I said, even when the UN was not backing this financially or whatsoever, or even the African Union. So the UN started to back it from 2007. So and yeah, its neighbor, it's capacitated, it's able to do so. It has been there security wise. I think it's the most strongest and able military in the region. So Ethiopia taking part in there is just only fair, if not anything else. So this is the right decision, the only question is now what that we are left is now how is Ethiopia going to pursue that access to the sea? Is it something that is now have been stopped, its agreement with Somaliland? How is Somalia is going to return to this? Is Ethiopia getting sea access of the Red Sea from Somalia? Which I don't think so, given that the continuous presence of Al-Shabaab in Somalia, which is an active terrorist group. So we will see what will happen to that. Secondly, another question is that Egypt being present, also both Egypt military and Ethiopia's military in Somalia. Why would Somalia want this? I mean, those neighboring countries who have taken part in this peacekeeping mission, like Ethiopia, Uganda, Burundi, and others, or Kenya, have the capacity to continue on do so. Why would you bring an enemy military, an enemy country that is already there, meaning Ethiopia's military is there, and then you bring Egypt, still knowing that Egypt's fed with Ethiopia? Why would you do that? Why would you invite a conflict that's not yours? Why not continuing with what was workable, what was, working for you, for Somalia? I'm just asking Somalia. So I really don't know what will be, whether there will be a standoff while their duties first and foremost to bring peace in Somalia. I really don't think it's the right decision for Somalia to invite Egypt's military in Somalia, but we will see. But Ethiopia's presence in Somalia is it's only fair, and it's not something that you can check and go what Ethiopia has done or something. I mean, it has been there, and it has greatly contributed and sacrificing the Ethiopian military to bring peace in Somalia. So yeah, we will see. Those two questions are still lingering in the air. What will happen? Ethiopia's quest for access to the sea, and then will it pursue? I mean, definitely it will pursue, but which direction will it pursue? The one with Somaliland, or is it going to get a sea access from the Somalia? That's a question that needs to be answered, or time will tell. And secondly, what will happen between the Egypt's peace military and Ethiopian military in Somalia, which I don't think is wise. Yeah, so let's see what's going to happen, but it's a very good diplomatic achievement, victory for Ethiopia. Thank you very much, and let us know in the comment section what do you think of this move or achievements. Yeah, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that so far. Give it a like if you find it informative enough. Share the video with others as well. Do not keep the information and knowledge only to yourself. Please support us also through our PayPal account and our Buy Me a Coffee link. You can find it in the description section. That was it for now, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.